So I've just finished putting on the stain and the Danish oil. So now we're finally ready to start putting on the top coat that's going to cover the entire project. We're going to do 3 coats of water-based polyurethane to completely seal the entire step stool. So with that said, we're going to start with the first coat. We're going to start on the inside here, get all the bottom parts nice and covered, the inside on the other edge, let it dry, flip it over, and complete the entire first coat on the project today. So with that said, let's get to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my can of water-based polyurethane and I'm going to pour it into a separate container. Again, I'm using takeout containers because, you know, I have abundance of them. I should not be taking my foam brush and dipping it in. Now normally, we use a natural bristle brush when we're putting finish in. And one thing I like to do is I just like to give it a good flick, get all the loose hairs off. So normally we'll be using a natural bristle brush to apply the finish, but I have this nice disposable foam brush. And what's nice about that is it doesn't have the possibility of leaving hairs, and it makes it easy for applying finish in nice tight cooked nooks and crannies for the inside of my step stool. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my water-based finish, I'll pour it into my container. Now I don't need a lot because I'm doing a very thin coat, because remember, whether it be water, oil-based finish, or Danish oil, we want a nice thin coat to coat everything and then build up from there. We don't want to slather it in finish because it could ruin the project. So with that said, I'm going to start to gently start putting water-based finish on my project. So what I do is I make sure that I have a small amount of finish in my container, because ideally I should be applying all that finish in the container and then pour more finish into my Tupperware. I never want to take my excess and have to pour it back into the main container because I could contaminate it. Now when I'm applying finish, even with a foam brush, I want to press against the side of the container and get my excess off so that I don't actually put too much finish on the project itself. Now the other thing is, again, when you're applying finish, you want to brush with the grain. Now when it comes to end grain, like here and on the front, you can tap finish in so it can soak into the project, because again, a tree is designed to pull moisture in through its end grain, or the cells, up into the project itself. So you can put a lot of finish there and then wipe away the excess from there. So with that said, let's put finish on the project. We're going to use a foam brush. Yeah, you're going to come over here. Okay, come here. So dip, squeeze, brush across like that, back and forth. Good. Now he's going to come back, go over your stuff. So dip, squeeze. I'm going to go across the bottom now, the bottom one.
Riders on the storm. Riders the storm. Into this house we're born. Into this world we're thrown. Like a dog without a bone, and actor out alone. Riders on the storm.
Up and down. Up and down.
Double Shot Tuesday, 99.
So before I flip this over, one thing I did is I also back brushed. Let me get all my excess. I back brushed all my excess. So basically what I did was I went in and I brushed any wet area with the grain as much as I could. And that just ensured that there was no drip marks in that space. All right, so I'm just gonna make sure I get good coverage. Cover all the dry spots. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the project, I'm going to flip it over onto some hold-offs. These are plastic cans, spray paint can tops. And what that does is it gives a minimum contact spot on the bottom so that my product doesn't stick to it and I can go about finishing the rest of my project. Again, it just saves me time. Nope, it's down that way. So that finishes the entire first coat for the step stool. So we also finished the dresser drawer, so there's 3 coats on that. So with that said, we're gonna wait, normally for water-based polyurethane, you should wait about 2 hours before resanding. We're gonna wait about 24 in our case. But next video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna sand the entire step stool, 400 grit, blow it off, recoat, and then see if we can do coat 2 and 3 in the same video. Again, normally for water-based polyurethane, it takes about 2 hours between coats. But again, I'm going to take the longer route so that I can completely ensure that I have really good coverage. With that said, this is going to bring us maybe 1 to 2 videos from the end of this project. And what I like to do is I'd like to hear what you guys' input is in maybe doing small projects, either that you suggest or maybe some more baby room builds, like for instance, a birch tree lamp post build, or maybe you guys can join the other classes in doing 1-hour builds. So you guys suggest or submit plans for me to build a project in 1 hour. Obviously it has to be something small. I'm not going to build a step stool in 1 hour. But with that said, I hope everyone's staying safe. And I hope everyone's going to have a great week this week. So I'll see you guys around. Bye.